we go again. Another Saturday under the hood. Has that even a term? Okay. Here we go. Get myself comfortable. The chair's a bit low today. Thomas Ogden, good evening. Oh, he is here somewhere. He's just trying to get his camera working. His camera keeps on. Oh no, it's camera. Okay, there it is. There it is. Coming back again. There it is. Hello, Mr. Thomas Ogden.
Good evening. For me, it's Friday night.
Friday night in the US. Right, and Todd's over there. He's fully checked in for 90 days.
Yes. We've had recent discussions with the meetup groups how hard it is to do it in Bangkok, and I can, by personal experience, confirm it took me all of 4.5 minutes to get my 90-day check-in done.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even have to see an immigration officer. One of the interns they have at the immigration office, the young ones coming up that want to be part of the system, checked all the paperwork, took it behind the counter, stamped it, signed it, and I was on my way. I could have asked the taxi driver to just stay there.
Yeah.
So,
Or maybe. Well, next time you'll be just riding down. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't have the bike quite set up yet. So.
Yep. Chris Brand. Hello. What else we got? Yeah. So we've got absolutely nothing to talk about this week. You know, we've been gaming left, right, and centre. Goggy's been dying left, right, and centre.
I resemble that remark.
You do.
Far behind you, Oggy. Don't worry.
But it is. It's just you get this used to this lifestyle here. There's just there's no need to do important shit anymore. Apart from that every 90 days to go and make sure that it's all the paperwork's done, and that's it. What else we got? We got the car show coming up next week.
Yep.
So I'm not going to. What are they going to do? Is now the time to buy a Russian? Well, that's a good question. It's not worth the fabric it's printed on. What do they have? Do they have polymer notes, or are they still using the traditional paper sort of type currencies? I don't know.
Comment. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not worth anything at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it'll come back good. As soon as he gets off his fucking high horse and decides to behave like a human being again, we might sort of see an end to the conflict. But anyway, Bossa Nova, g'day. How you doing? Chris Brandt, and of course we got Dave there. Got to love Thailand. I actually made one. What would it be? Made one of what?
Give you a video about the.
Video about Bangkok check-ins. I think we all attempt to do one or two when we get here, because it's you can only look back now and it's quite comical when you think about it. Yeah. Is it really necessary? With all the other. Oh yes, you made one of our live streams. Oh right, yeah. Well, I pop in to see yours as well, Dave. It's all right. I might not comment because I don't want to sort of flag anybody. Sort of I still have the trolls that love to infest the backgrounds of a channel, and whenever you go somewhere and just try to support somebody else, they get on their high horse and do shit. Anyway, yes, Malcolm K. G'day. How you doing? Good to see some future easing coming from Thailand. Yeah, I was just reading through the NNT news today. We were discussing this before we started. Their Songkran is going ahead supposedly, but with no water. Jeffrey Janik is greetings and salutations. Yes. But as I said, I couldn't find any reference to it on NNT or on Richard Barrow's channel, on Facebook feeds. So I'm still concerned the fact that there's a lot of hyperbole. Is it hyperbole? Is that the word?
Hyperbole.
There's still a lot of hyperbole going around by the different things, like what this week the comical thing that came out. The head of the guy, the CCSA or whatever it is, supposedly said that they're looking at removing the restrictions on the face mask mandate, and then 2 days later a complete backtrack. That's not what we meant. Well, what did you mean? Like, the words are fairly straightforward coming out of your mouth, and then what, somebody told you to pull your head in, get your finger out of your bum, or I don't know what they're doing. It's just bizarre. Yeah, Songkran without water. Yeah, frack that. Frack that. I'm gonna start. I gotta use my Battlestar Galactica terms, because I gotta stop. I'm gonna stop using the 4-letter word. We have to go to the 5-letter word.
I did find that story about the dry Songkran and
Did you?
Tiger.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my MacBook Pro, unfortunately, because that's where I get my links.
It's on Tiger, is it? Okay.
Yeah, it came through on Friday, and it was a.
What was the reference site? Yeah.
The reference site was in regards to Minister of Foreign Affairs gives the CCSA briefing in English. Plans to scrap the required PCR test before departure. Still need to confirm this. Starting April 1, those under the alternative quarantine scheme has been cut down to 5 days, and they're going to cut down the insurance. They've also said third time Songkran will be dry. The general CSA meeting today, under the guidelines set, people can go in, but you'll need to do a ATK test before you go in. Only allowed 800 people, and
that's I saw that one at the that was the I did read that article, and I thought, yeah, that's gonna fly like a lead balloon, that one. But look, I think I was reading something. I don't know whether he was talking about the what do you call it? Somebody, I think, what's his name, Brand something like this. One of the guys that does the cartoons. He's showing a photo of. Was it the garden? We have one or two of these garden bars in Bangkok, but I think it might have been one in Pattaya. And it was opened for the public. They had sort of 6 people inside, and a big sign at the front, and you had to do an ATK test. You had to buy the ATK test at the door, do the ATK test before you could go in. Well, next bar, please. But like we were out like Thursday night. We went out to there's a place here called the Groove out here in Salia. There will be I've got a video in the can for that. I've got to do some slack. But yeah, getting a video. This is a Thai night spot for like in our area. We got 2 universities up in Salia. There is it Maribol? I can't pronounce those names. Marigold Technical University.
And the hospital one as well.
Yeah, and there's also what they call Film Archive. There's also
near the Wat, Wat Nakhon Pantong,
Yeah, so there's something there. So there's 3 major learning establishments there, 2 official universities, and one which is more of a film school type thing. So and it's a hive of activity for the young, what do you call them, Gen Zers, isn't it? They call them Gen Zers. They call them something else now. I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, the Groove. Moving on. The Groove is like the place that they hang out at. So we went out there, checked it out. Drinking beer from a like normally you get these little tall Leo or what do you call it, things that have got the clear see-through and you can see the beer, the beer stein sort of thing on the table. But no, they didn't have those fancy things there. They had these little buckets, it's bucket cool, like a mini esky cooler with a tap on it, and they fill that up with the beer. I don't know, was the beer on tap or was they just pour the bottles in?
They pour the bottles in actually.
Do they?
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Because you buy a pack of bottles, they put it in, and
Yeah.
you get your numcat, your ice with it as well.
Yeah.
And you just
Beer
help yourself to the table. Yeah.
Yeah. Beer towers, thank you, Chris. Like, I'm not a beer drinker, so I don't even know what the names of these things are. But yeah, so very, very Thai. All I can say is very Thai. I had because I rode the bike up, so I had Coca-Cola. But yeah, it was a. What was that?
So are we talking a bucket of ice with bottles of beer in it?
No, see, the bucket of ice was separate to the actual beer. It's in an esky cooler with a you know what they call a tap on it, and you pour your beer yourself into paper cups. But this is just this is the average fare of what they do in this area. And it's like a little night spot there with we had 2 bands playing, so they're one in one bar, and these are like shipping container bars, you know, that have been extended out into the foyer. And then of course there was one, you know, about 50 yards, you know, further down the thing. And of course when one music stopped here, which was allowed, you could hear the other band still playing you know, 3 doors down. Very reminiscent of a place we used to go to here when we were back in Nong Kem, which was back at a night market where we actually had 6 of these what do you call it, shipping container bars, plus a major bar there, and it was Battle of the Bands. But yeah, very, very Thai. No walking street girl, you know, the typical walking street girls. These are all university, you know, young university sort of upstart cuties with their boyfriends and so on and so forth. We had one of the girls did a 2 or 3 songs. I think they had a group of, they're all part of a group there, but she had a pretty good voice. But yeah, it was just, you know, it was a casual night, and I was laid back, listening to some live music. So we might start making that a bit of a sort of a hangout. I believe, or we were told, the fact that on a Friday night they do there's a rock and roll, not a rock and roll, a rock cover band. They play things like AC/DC, you know, In Excess, and a few other, you know, popular tunes. But yeah, so I'll have to go and check that one out. We might do another video up there, sort of in the next month or so. Who knows? Anyway, Jeffrey Janik, greetings from Sagittarius. We did that one. Yeah, Song Crown. Getting back to the Song Crown issue, like seriously, what are they just trying to take? They're trying to take the little bit of fun out of our life, you know. So what was that movie that had the thought police that run around and was, you know, you weren't allowed to have relationships.
Minority Report?
Wasn't that one? It was another one. It had the same guy that did Gattaca. That was a good movie. I quite enjoyed that one. No, they were like the priests. They were these sort of, you know, samurai, you know, warrior priests that ran around and, you know, killed anybody for having fun. What's it called?
Oh, Utopia.
Yeah, Mark, is it cancelled? No, Songkran's not cancelled, but the Songkran will just be another week holiday without the water fun. Jack Dorrigan. Of course he'll come on and call us shaggers, wouldn't he? Yeah. He's the biggest shagger of them all. G'day, Jack. But yeah, so it just what little fun we've got to look forward to, they just try to do to everything to sort of, you know, negate that. Yet in the other breath, they're still trying to get the tourists to come in. You know, got to have the tourists here. No, the tourists aren't going to freaking come if you don't have a Songkran. Fracking come if you don't have Songkran with water. That's what they come for, right? Songkran without water is just not it, you know. But anyway, the movie's called Australian Government. I know I can see it visually in my head, but I just can't think of I know the guy. It's on my Plex. So yeah, anyway, but yeah, you weren't allowed to have fun. You weren't allowed to have relationships. You know, you weren't allowed to do anything. And any breach of these sort of, you know, rules and these you know, reprogramming police would come around and take you away for reprogramming. Except one of the.
Was that the Adjustment Bureau?
I think that was it. Yeah, was it? Yeah, no, that was no. It wasn't the Adjustment Bureau. That was the one. That was
One
that
with
had,
Matt Damon. That
Yeah.
had the Men in Black that adjusted reality to.
Yeah, and that wasn't that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I know exactly which one I'm thinking of. It wasn't. I know the Adjustment Bureau too, but it wasn't that one. But yeah, there seems to be a few movies out there with that sort of type of theme, isn't there? The dystopian society. We're moving into a movie cliche of a dystopian society, sort of population around the world. Truth in movies. It's great, isn't it? Stinking hot. Thai Songkran weather and no water. Yes, the fun police are everywhere. Yeah, mother frackers. That's it. Movie's not called Jumpers. No, it wasn't called. It wasn't Jumpers. That was that was an intimate thing. That was
good.
That was a good one. I quite enjoyed that one.
And Push was good too.
Yeah, well, they're both on the same thing, weren't they?
Yep.
Same thing. And there was was it Tomorrow Children or something like that? Also came out as a series. They had a few more abilities. They could do the jump. They could do a couple other things as well. They had a little bit of telekinetic power. It only did one season, I believe. It was actually based on a previous, kids, I think 3 or 4 season kids version of it. But they did a sort of an adult version of it, but they never really flew on the scene. But anyway, so we're just here to have a chat. We're good. Apart from the fun police, ruining everything around, what little enjoyment we had about sort of group gatherings. We've actually got a group like I said. There is this overall mandate to stop the fun, but as you'll see from the video, people are having fun everywhere. It's just that what we consider to be the highlight fun, the wet t-shirt competitions. No, can't have that because COVID loves wet t-shirts. Just like COVID loves people standing up, because when you sit down, COVID goes over your head. Yeah.
Is that how that works? No wonder I've been safe.
Oh yeah, that's it. We were out there. We went out Sunday night. Chris took us out to a rib restaurant. What was it called? Some
barbecue pug or something like that.
Something pug. I think it's on my Facebook. You can go check. But yeah, those ribs were awesome. But we just got a message from him 2 days ago, or yesterday, wasn't it? That his girlfriend, who was there that night, tested positive, but she believes that they picked that up at work during the week, not when Sunday night. So, but yeah, my temperature still runs at normal, so I'm not seeing any negatives there.
Checked yesterday with an ATK and fine, but
oh, you did an ATK, did you?
Yeah, I just I've got a little stockpile, so I just thought.
Yeah, I have a temperature thing. I stick it up my ass.
Yeah.
I stick it up my no, don't know. I stick it in my mouth. Let me just check the temperature now.
One labelled green, one labelled red, and don't get them mixed up.
No comment.
I did check and no problems, but Chris's girlfriend actually works in a medical area, so I think the chances are highly likely that he came into contact with someone that was positive. But I think the interesting thing is the people that we know that are testing, there's no major symptoms. There's the last couple of people that we know that tested positive, no major symptoms. Just probably a little bit tired, but didn't need to get any hospitalisation.
Yeah, 35.9.
Mind you, we were talking to my mate Fidel on Thursday night. His parents.
His parents come down with it. Yeah,
but they're in their late 70s or 80s, from my memory, and his mum has an underlying immune system
Compromise, yeah.
issue. Yeah. So for the elderly, yeah, I think it's still an issue if you're not sort of looking after yourself. But if you are looking after yourself like we are, I mean, I eat good food, except when I binge on my bonchon.
That's good food. What are you talking about?
Awesome food. It's just the next level up where things are fried, and you do get fried things, and you get spicy sauces. When I have my rice and my grilled pork and my grilled chicken, that's what I think is eating okay. Like I said, I've lost 9 kilos since I arrived in Thailand, so.
That's good. Yeah, I'm still stabilised around about 86 kilos. So, you know. I should do something. I should do something about that. Yeah. But she likes her panda. You know, I don't want to upset her. She likes her panda. What are you doing, Oggy? You still playing Valheim, are you?
No,
Not at all. No. So we'll be there in half an hour. You know.
Oggy's the king of multitasking.
Well, that's it. Multitasking, simultaneous looping, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so there's a lot of things still happening around the Thailand scene. Just really these public events that seem to be getting all the highlight. But again, you can understand like when multiple people get together and you really, where have they been? Where anybody could be carrying the stuff. But as I said, I'm not seeing many sort of, apart from what we got there. We did get the numbers. So I was having a look at Richard Barrow this morning. Where is he? Get back to Richard Barrow. So the numbers are getting up there. I think today we reported 87 deaths, but the total cases and total recovered sort of seem to be quite stable. This 87 deaths. The high majority of these things are all underlying symptoms. Yesterday was 80 deaths, and it was 77 the day before that, 70 before that, 70 before that, 69. So they are steadily climbing, and this is a sort of almost like writings on the wall that they're going to do something, and we're going to sort of see a new clamp down on all this sort of stuff and going into sort of another forced lockdown. Basically, people are becoming blasé to the whole thing. People are starting to wake up to the fact that it's a cold virus, and when it's going around, you're going to catch it. It's just a highly contagious cold virus now, provided you have been vaccinated and your body's got a sort of a prepared immunity to it. The people who are suffering from underlying conditions, the sort of people that would have succumbed to, a bout of influenza, now they're suffering from a bout of coronavirus. And what can you do? Influenza would take them out, but coronavirus just, they don't know how to deal with it properly yet. So, what can you do? But yeah, numbers. Yeah, I feel sorry for these people who have underlying comorbidities, but could we blame them for running a reckless life and not eating healthy food? And I don't know. There could be 1,000 reasons, but having suffered from it myself, and as I said, I've had worse head colds. But I was, at the time I was dual vaccinated, so, my body had been, prepared in a better sense of the term. It had some sort of, dead virus pumped into your body, which was the AstraZeneca. I think that was the dead virus, was it? Isn't AstraZeneca based on the yeah. So your body just knows what to do with it, so that's what it. Yeah, well, I've had the booster shot after that as well. So it was 4 weeks later I had the booster shot. So, so I've had two, a booster, and I've actually had the virus itself, according to the ATK test anyway. So yeah, not really worried at all. I think we were talking yesterday, was sort of something about the fact that, after catching it, you've got this constant little nagging tickle in the back of your throat. I don't know, does that sort of, I put it down to, it's almost like a smoker's cough, but I haven't smoked for 8 years. You just get this little, what was that, Why have I got a little cough? That's something that's new in my body. I don't know what causes it. It could be anything.
The pollution around Bangkok as well.
Could be that's the other thing. We are in a high pollution time. That's another reason why we might be seeing these rising numbers. There's a Shannon. So good morning, gents. Yes, test and go done and home in Jontium a few days ago. 6 weeks in Sydney, far too long. Okay. Good to see you here, though. That's the main thing. There's a question, but I don't think the vaccines contain any of the... I think the AstraZeneca contains what they call a modified version, which is non-replicating, but it has the same sort of spike proteins on it that your body is supposed to recognise and deal with. So it creates the antibodies to deal with that. Look, I'm no expert. I'm no virologist, I'm just a loopy fucking games player here. But yeah, my iPhone 13 works so much better. Oh right, did it? Yeah, I was looking at we're out Thursday night. I was checking my forward. We were talking about 5G, and I was getting 110 megabits per second on 4G. And I haven't had that before. It must be the little nanites that's running through my body. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, But hey, a lot of people get a little bit sort of bit weirded out. Like I can understand the anti-vax sort of thought processes. Like I said, we've talked about this before. When I grew up, I think I had 6 vaccines. Pumped into my body from the age of 2 years old through to the age of 12, and I had the last vaccine I had was a tetanus shot, and that was when I was 15 because I trod on something in the backyard, and they just felt it was a good idea to go and do a tetanus shot just in case. But outside that, I grew up all right.
I was gonna have to object to that.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll get
You're
back.
twisted the rest of us.
Yes, growing old is mandatory. Growing up is optional. I don't know if that had anything to do with the vaccines, though. But look at how many vaccines. I remember even my daughter, now she's 30. How old is she now? 32, 33. G'day, Sean. 32, 33. The amount of vaccines she had growing up was quite ridiculous. At least 12 or 15 that I know. But I heard now that she's got a bit of feedback there on your audio. Looping through. Hey, yes, but I think now, they're getting up to 25 to 30 vaccines now that they're getting these young kids, as they're growing up. Why? What's the point of that? What? We grew up all right. You're going to keep the kids in cotton wool now? Just to the fact that the slightest little, virus that comes in contact with the body, their body just goes into overdrive. Back in the 70s, how many people really had? I know anaphylactic shock is a real thing. People get that, but in the 70s, nobody really had anaphylactic shock by eating peanuts. Now, you hear 1 in 10 people get anaphylactic shock by eating peanuts. What did we do to the human genome?
What did we do to the peanuts? That's what I want to know.
Well, that's another thing. What did we do to the peanuts as well?
I think it's the peanuts' fault.
I've had anaphylactic shock from bee sting, and it sort of, made because it got my shoulder and made my neck swell up and everything else, and I had difficulty breathing. But I never went through anything. I was just basically taken aside. They pulled the stinger out. I think we had some paracetamol and bed rest, and it was all gone in a day. But it wasn't like, cut off my circulation or anything else like that. It just basically swelled up. And it was actually the second time I'd been stung by a bee. The first time we were actually out at a friend's place, and one of my mates just says, "You know what you can do with these bees? You can actually pull their stingers out." And he caught a bee with a pair of tweezers, pulled the stinger out, right, and then he accidentally dropped it, or somehow the wind caught it, and it literally landed on my hand, and it only just pricked the skin, and my hand went up, blew up, and like a football. The sort of things you do as a kid, I was 8 or 9 years old at that time, I still remember that day. What the fuck are you doing, pulling stingers out of bees for, and then dropping it or losing it? But yeah.
Future serial killer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Well, Chris Brand just mowed the lawn. I deserve a coldie. Oh yeah, well I don't know. Yeah, you can come over and mow our lawns too if you want. Maybe time for a beer. Yeah, sort of anaphylactic shock seems to be sort of quite commonplace, like the EpiPens and things like that. Never had those things in the 70s. How many people,
You don't hear about asthma anymore. Like during the 90s, asthma was the big issue that everyone was going through. But
it's still big business, and here in the U.S., a lot of people with asthma, including myself.
But then again,
the drugs all the time.
And I would even sort of speculate on that one. Like my mother was a hypochondriac, so her children had to go and visit the doctor for the slightest thing as well. And I was diagnosed with asthma, and I was on Alupin Intel and what's that inhaler they had, the Ventolin. Butyr, I think. I don't think we had a Butyral, but yeah, those three things. And I was shoved in me all up until the age of 15, and then we moved to Scotland. I was there for 3 years. My asthma went away. Well, part of the process was stuff this, like I'm sticking to, like she couldn't take me to the local GP anymore, So she had a change of scenery, and the GP wasn't just 2 kilometres down the road. She had to go to Bridge of Weir, which is a lot further away, and we only had the one car there. We didn't have 2 cars, so and of course the change in scenery for her. She just, and I was 15. And I started smoking and drinking and womanizing and doing the things that a normal kid should be doing at the age of 15, getting into trouble and, picking fights, and my asthma went away. But interesting enough, that happened, and then we went back to England in '91. I took Angie and our daughter to England in '91. And were there for 2 weeks, and for the first 2 weeks we were in Plymouth, and we were eating typically English food for 2 weeks, and my stomach just completely flared up, right? And I had sort of what I call asthma symptoms. So we actually went to the GP and talked to him. He says, "No, it's gastric reflux, or it's commonly referred to now as GERD, G-E-R-D. Gastric esophageal reflux disorder." He says it's quite often misdiagnosed as asthma. So now if I backtrack all that sort of stuff, yes, diet has changed in the last 50 years, causing a lot of gastroesophageal reflux disorder, which is being diagnosed as asthma. Right, and they're giving her asthma drugs because they gain asthma drugs and things like that. They relax the lungs and open up the airways and things like that. But really, it's the bad eating habits we've got these days. And so because I know it's GERD, I just take omeprazole. This is the one I have. What do they? I can never remember the name. Omeprazole, it's a beta blocker. I used to have one of those every couple of days that keeps the acid levels low in my stomach, and I don't have any problems. But of course, like Thai food just seems to upset the whole stomach acid thing. Your stomach goes into overdrive. Now, I could, of course, do a complete dietary change and sort of do things like eat like a Thai, which is small plates, 5 or 6 times a day. That would also be a recommendation to change the overall eating habits. But yeah, we get so used to our life, don't we? Jeffrey, growing up, parents would actually expose their children to chickenpox. Yes, I was exposed. I was exposed to chickenpox, measles. That's it. We'd have like little measles parties, and that's it, and that's what we wanted to get you immune to it, was it?
You had it, now you're safe.
Was it the calamine lotion? I still remember that. That was so embarrassing. Like so 7 years old, covered from head,
isn't it?
covered from head to foot by your mum. Right, with the calamine lotion, she'd left you'd had to strip down naked, and this is for 3 or 4 days, and she's dabbing the freaking calamine lotion on every.
He's got on hand.
Oh my God! Dabbing this shit all over you, right? And that's my dick, Mum. Leave that alone. I still remember. It's just ludicrous, isn't it?
What I remember was the mumps. Like we had.
Oh, mumps! Yeah. That's
and
swelling. Swelling.
Yeah,
I
couldn't talk for 4 days.
Yeah.
And Mum said it was the best 4 days of her life. Shut up.
Yeah. Chris, man, you missed Warren taking his temperature up his ass. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, but 35.9, I just read. I'm actually a bit low today. I don't know, maybe because the air conditioner's a bit on the low side. No, it's about 25. Should be fine. But anyway, Jeffrey Janak, we survived. Yeah, we did. We all survived, and I think we're all at that level. That I think we have to understand the fact that people get sick. And Mark, English food is garbage. Well, it was just the stodgy, carby, foods, that they eat over there. And it was Plymouth food as well, typically, I'm pretty sure that's all to throw back from the mining that they did down there. Pasties and, what is it? We did that. Darlow's there. Good afternoon. How you doing? Sorry, lad. What have I missed? Yeah, that's right. What are Chris telling you? The fact that Warren taking his temperature up his arse. Stuck in Florida. I had my 2 shots and a booster. I'm ready to go. Well, I still recommend what we should be doing, and this is probably going to get flamed for this one. If you know anybody with COVID and you haven't had COVID, go and hang out with them go and hang out with them for the evening. Actually, get COVID. Right, just to top it off,
Are you saying just get it over with?
Yeah.
Stop the panic, and that's really what I think what's going wrong. What's wrong going here is still, even though we've got war in the Ukraine, there's still this overall, it's a danger. It's a danger, but nobody believes it anymore, and so we're not getting any. Mother here won't get her booster. Chanya won't go and get her booster. They're concerned. They're getting some sort of secondary information feed through their circle of friends. The fact that don't take the booster, don't get the booster. They're all falling for the misconception that this is dangerous. I don't see people dropping dead from it.
I didn't have any reaction to my booster.
Yeah, I don't recall any reaction to the booster.
I had the typical sore muscle.
I
had a needle stick in it. That's it.
I had a
You're introducing a foreign object to your body. Of course, you're going to have a little bit of a reaction to that. But the second, my second Pfizer shot, I was achy and miserable for a couple of days. But after the booster, nothing.
Yeah, I know whenever I'd get
now they're suggesting a 4th booster or a second booster, fourth shot. No,
we've got to keep the pharmaceutical companies in business. That's it. course, we're not paying for the boosters, right? The governments are paying for the boosters, so the big pharmaceutical conglomerates, they're still making their money, but they're leeching it from the governments, who then the governments then turn around and tax you for it, and we wonder why we have inflation. The inflation is getting out of hand, isn't it? I was in the shops the other day. Just one of those things. I remember buying cooking oil last year. It was 49 baht per bottle, typically in Big C. And the best price we could get for cooking oil in Big C this time this year, was 62 baht. For the what they call 1 litre bottles, I think they are. So we've had a definite increase in cost of living here. And what can you put it down to? The war only started 5 weeks ago. But the governments of the world have had to sort of adjust and make changes. The whole thing is the fact that it's all going from our pockets surreptitiously out through the back door through your taxes and creating inflation to keep the pharmaceutical companies in business. Really? Anyway. The translated well as it. I don't think my joke untranslated on Wazza was booster shots. Yeah, good. Yeah, you had two what are they? 2 cups of something, or 2 coffees and a beer. Is it? I can't really. They're so small, those little icons. It's not funny.
No, I just sent back there. We go to Susie's bar regularly, so we have plenty of boosters.
Oh yeah, we do, don't we? It's bad news in the boosters. Bad news is the booster shrunk my head. The good news is I've got my fridge. I got your fringe.
Yeah, hairline.
Fringe hairline. Okay. I believe you can take estrogen as well. That'll grow your hair back, but there's a bit of a side effect you might not want.
What's a little tits?
What's a little tit between friends? Exactly. What happened to Sean? He's disappeared. Probably got sort of interrupted somewhere along the line.
I got some messaging going on.
You got some messaging going on. Fair enough. Yeah, so we got next week. We've got Susie's. We're off to Susie's again next week. Well, actually, we've got a bit of a roundabout. We're starting at 11 o'clock, I believe, for our coffee. Then we're going to the cigar lounge. Is it? We're going to do a 1:30 at the cigar lounge. Just starting there, have a stogie, probably take one for later, go to Susie's bar, then kick off the actual evening's entertainment at 5 o'clock, and I'm not quite sure what we're doing after that. But yeah, so this is for our mate Jerry B and his 45th birthday party. 45th and a few months, it just so it should be a good night. And I think we're even planning to actually couch surf that night, aren't we?
That was the initial plan. I've pre-booked the room, so it'll be good.
Yeah, I don't know. So I haven't done any booking. I think Psycho probably got some space on his lounge there. He's kicked his girlfriend out, so he might have some spare room on the lounge there. I can just couch surf at his place. I'm pretty sure Jerry said I could couch surf there too. But yeah.
He ripped the Band-Aid off on that one, did he?
Yeah, but Minnie's a lovely girl. She really is. But she had no personal life, if you know what I mean. Everything was revolved around him, right? Which almost became stifling. Like Chanya, she's off. I don't know where's she off to now. She got there already. She was off this morning. She's got some sort of hairdressing thing with her crew. Let's see where she is where she is. Is she on the map right now? I don't exactly know where she was going to. Oh, there we go. She's heading out towards Nakhon Pathom. She's in the Nakhon Pathom city area right now, but that could be where they are, driving the car, because it's been a good hour since she's left. That's about an hour away from our house. But she looks like she's heading towards Kanchanaburi. So, but that's what her life. We spend our life together. We see us in the videos. We do all the things together. But she has her own life. She does her own things. We were up Thursday night, with Todd having drinks up there, and she's got her girlfriends over here playing cards. She doesn't live in my pocket. She has her own life as well. But this is where I think some people, not so much, I'm not picking on Psycho or anything else like that, or that sort of situation. It's more about the fact that this is something that I think we don't really fully gravitate to here in the Thai culture. And the women and even the Sao songs, that when they hook up with you, right, they are very, very clingy, and it can get a little bit stifling, and I think that upsets a lot of people. So just remember that. Like, we can do more talk about the overall relationship deals that go on here, and there's a whole bunch of stuff we could talk about. We do talk about it from time to time on our Discord channel, but we don't really make a big point on the open circuit, because I think it upsets a few people. We're talking about the sort of the pitfalls that they've fallen into. Yeah, Calvin, is she chipped? No, I share my Google location with her, and she shares her Google location with me, right? It's just the fact that it's a secondary thing. Like, if she had an accident, right, and I could find out where she was. I could, if I had an accident.
They say it's not talking if it's done with love.
That's it. We do
much
it.
love, Hoggy.
I've got nothing to hide from her, so we share our photo albums and we share our map locations. There's obvious reasons why we do that, and she's into the obvious reasons why we do it. It's not that I'm tracking her or stalking her or wanting to see if she's playing up or anything else like that. I trust her, 100%. It's more about that safety factor. I'm in a fucking foreign country, anything could go wrong, Before you get one phone call, if something went wrong, and she needs to phone me. She knows how to do that. You've got to think about that sort of stuff. I don't think people understand that sort of idea of society and how people should be looking after each other. But again, people probably think it's a bit weird. Go-go hopping. Yes, go-go hopping's got a this weekend. You've got a meet-up starting at Triple X Lounge, I believe, tonight. Is that right? Hit me up on that. Come on to the channel and tell us about it.
Is that the place that had the hot dog delivery?
Yeah, that was the hot dog place. Yes, they do the hot dogs. So he's got a pub. I don't know. He's got a pub crawl going on with his meetup group. I saw the message this morning. Jeffrey Janik, who was it? Everything moves on motor vehicles. The price of fuel is being passed along to higher operational costs. Yeah, I know. A number of reasons why we're seeing a big jump in inflation. The 1%ers, they want more, and they want everybody else to pay for it. It's a competition. I did read somewhere, and I've said it before, there should be a competition. There should be like a plaque. You make $1 billion, you should get a plaque, and anything else over $1 billion, right, you have to give back to charities. Right? End of story. You made the Billionaires Club, that's it. You can't get any more money. Billion is the top. No more. And the Warren's answer to the world. There you go. Boosted till you can't boost anymore. That's it, yeah. Robert Groves, Andy, enjoy this time with your place. Okay, it's a bit of a conversation going on there. I was busy at the study. Okay. Yes, tonight, but not many signed up as yet. Well, don't forget, Paul, we've got next Friday. Are you going to have any money left? God, he loves to go out and party, this guy, and all the big events, he just turns around and says, oh, I've got no money left, come on. Dowlow, cost me $160 to fill my SUV up with diesel last week. That sounds quite expensive, but I had no idea how much big a tank it is. But I've noticed that I used to put 300 baht worth of fuel in the car, December, and I know I would be able to travel so far, about 200 kilometres on 200 baht. Now I'm sort of saying it's 500 baht to get about the same distance. That's how much the fuel's gone up here. We're seeing 40 baht a litre, something like that. So it's gone up.
Meme that showed don't drink and drive, just drink and don't worry about driving. It's a lot cheaper.
That's the way it goes. $2.25 a litre, yeah. Should have some money. My drinks are free in Patpong. Oh, really? Oh, that's right. You got to. How's your job going down there? Did you start? You started there as their what? You haven't really given us the heads up. What are you doing? You're managing all the bars there. What? You're the financial advisor. That's a really bad idea if you're the financial, accountant running these bars. They'll all go out of business if you can't manage your own purse. But yeah. So what are you actually doing there? You're the PR officer. Tell us what you do there. Anyway, boss, I used to be a millionaire. I spent most of my money on booze, partying, and the rest I wasted. Yeah, fair enough. I wish I bought a Tesla. Down at least here in diesel is capped at 30 baht per litre. Yeah, but again, we're probably paying for that through other means. Again, when it comes to, I don't know where the money comes from. I'm pretty sure Thailand's just printing it. They say that only 8% of the Thailand workforce is eligible to pay tax, right? But out of that 8%, right, less than 45% of that 8% actually do pay any tax at all. How would they just keep on? Well, it's just made of paper to just keep on printing this stuff. I don't know. Anyway, waiting for the Go Hoppy to sort of tell us what sort of part of his job he does there. But yeah, so he's somehow now affiliated with them. I don't know. You're still teaching as well. You're teaching a day job and managing bars at night. Don't quite follow that one, unless of course he's given up his day job. I don't normally pray. Yes, managing the bars, PR, customer relations, advertising, and managing money. Oh my God, that's it. They're destined to fail now. If you managing their money. Oh my God. But do you still have your day job? Do you still teaching or what? Price of fuel is out of control. Yeah, I know, it's just ridiculous. Then again, it could be part of the new paradigm. They all want you to buy Tesla vehicles, or the Chinese equivalent. Oh, your day job went broke. Okay, yeah, well, fair enough. Well, hopefully things stay copacetic with you guys. You didn't mention your day job. You just mentioned this nighttime gig you're doing, and didn't never mention what you're doing during the day. It's good to know. Well, it's not good that it happened, but yeah, you know what I mean. Joe Willett, good morning. How you doing? We've got just over 5 minutes to go, and then we can get back into some gaming. That was a question. We've got a bit of a group gaming all the time now with Oggy and Todd and Psycho, and the question is, why aren't we streaming to Twitch? That's sort of been the general idea. Why aren't we streaming to Twitch when we do this gaming? And I said, well, the biggest problem is the fact that you're gaming. So I'm gaming on this screen, and then I've got conversation going on that screen, and as soon as I look away from there, something kills you.
I have to look away now.
I can kill myself without even trying.
That's what we die a lot. Yeah. If you want to see
Jerry at the boat and drown.
Yeah. geriatrics gaming. You know, we could change the name to geriatric gaming or something. But yeah, people have said, you know, why don't we do, you know, like even General Desperati says we should be streaming on Twitch. Twitching, whatever. But again, we've had a few people sort of on YouTube say, don't put it on your YouTube channel. But, you know, I've got to actually set it up to stream on Twitch, but unlisted to YouTube, which you can go and review the gaming sessions that we have in a playlist if you wanted to see it, but it won't go public. That was an idea I got. So like that's be in our closing. I don't know if I can do it. I don't even know how to do a poll on this thing here. Toggle send back. Is there a way to do a poll? We need to talk about this more. Toggle timestamps, manage moderators, blah 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 blah. Doesn't seem to be anything there that I can do, but yeah. So something we've been thinking about, like streaming to Twitch, just our antics and the camaraderie we get, and the people who are dropping in from time to time. The Twitch link is down below in the description box. If you're not subscribed there, go and subscribe. So we may, as from next week, so you finish your schooling, your first semester, end of next week. So maybe, well, we're going to be doing some motorcycle riding in April. We've got Songkran in April, and we might even give, you know, April a bit of a run on the Twitch scene. You know, just the general bullshit antics we do when we game. And you're going to join us there and just, you know, join in for the fun and watch us die a lot. But yeah, there's something we're playing with that idea. If it flies, we'll make it more time sensitive. Like, you know, the trouble is we don't know when we're going. We just start gaming. We're always sharing our screen with each other, but you know, we know what everybody else is doing on the stream, but we don't really sort of pay attention to, you know, what the public want to do. Jeffrey Janik, EV here in the States starts at 60,000. That is really quite expensive. They shouldn't be that expensive, but unfortunately, it's the way these things go. The cost of
prices have really risen here in the last year.
Yeah. Don't say the W word. That's right. Robert Groves will be there before the end of May. Definitely catch up. I'll discuss my retirement. Need any more stuff? Asking for a friend. Need any more stuff?
He might. I think Dowlow will apply for the full boys position at Meg Rowe's place. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Okay. Jeffrey, a friend paid about 40k for a Kia EV. I believe that MG have got an EV out here. When I looked at the pricing a year ago at their EV model, it was an SUV, not the sedan. They were looking at starting at 950,000, so it's just over 40k Australian, I suppose, something like that. Cheapest way you could buy it, but my biggest concern is like what we're starting to see now, 5 years down the track, is these excessive costs to change their battery banks. That seems to be a common failure of these things here. This is the way it is. You know, batteries don't last for the 10 years that you expect the lifespan of a vehicle, and you need to run these things for at least 8 years to get what they call green neutral. So it's a bit of a con as far as I'm concerned. Can I borrow $40? Can you? Cheapest way I could find was in. That wasn't a clown car. Yes, I know what you mean by that. Hello, stuck in Florida. Hello again, Dave. Yep. Gotta love Thailand. Yep. Anyway, so give us some thought. Like I said, you know, if you think we can have a bit of fun on the Twitch, you know. Keep an eye out that, subscribe, you should get a notification. That's another thing people have been sort of mentioning on YouTube recently. YouTube's email notification, even when you ring the bell, is not informing everybody that something's happening. Now I can't control that because it's the system that YouTube use. But for our regular videos, I would think that they shouldn't have a problem with that, but supposedly they are. What's going on there? Is that Chanya back? No, that's Mother back. What's going on here? Anyway, I've got to find out what's going on downstairs as well. I'll buy a donkey and name it Brandon. Twitch streaming, so probably starting. Well, we might even give it a bit of a run next week. Well, I'm set up to do it. I mean, we might even do it later on today just to give it a trial. And then let you guys participate in all the bullshit we do on that sort of scene. We might have encouraged a few more people to do some gaming. I know Kimbo wants to game, but he needs a rig first.
Well, he's moving this weekend. That's why Kimbo's not here.
Yeah.
He's moving into my place back in Australia, so a bit more stable for him. And I think it'll be second cab off the rank. He'll buy a new rig so he can join us. So he's getting frustrated just watching. So
yeah, I know he wants to get involved. So we've got a bit of a gaming crew. Like Jen has a great gaming crew. I don't know if I can't easily sort of link his channel here, but he has a good gaming crew as well. But he specifically focuses on Star Citizen, and that's something we can be doing, in the gaming sessions. So we got 5 games we tend to rotate around. 4 of them we manage ourselves, and 1 is an MMO, which is Star Citizen. But we're waiting for 317 to drop, still in Evo Carti, so that should move out of Evo Carti this weekend. Got a whole new stuff. We've got the Medical Bay in Lawville opening up and a few other things. So Star Citizen is starting to move along at a particular pace, which people might enjoy. But as I said, Jen does that. That's his bailiwick, and that's what he does. He does 5 days a week. I don't think I could ever do a scheduled 5-day-a-week gaming session. That would just drive me nuts. But yeah, when we game, when we're sharing our screens with ourselves, I don't see why we don't share it. Generally to people who might want to just join us on Twitch. Seems to work works for this. We have people drop in. If we have 20 to 30 people watching it at a time, then chatting amongst themselves. And I might even get some bells and whistles on my Twitch streams like Jen does. I've got to ask him how to do all that little pop-ups and everything else. I don't know how to do all that sort of stuff yet. I haven't found any good information. Anyway, I'm rambling. We want to go and game, so we'll catch you later. Stephen Monash hasn't joined us again to tell us to stop the close the screen. Where's the closing screen? He says, cue the song and play the music and get out. He says, what games do I play? Just join us on Discord. The Discord link's down below. We'll tell you about that. Ark Survival Evolved, Conan Exiles, Imperion, Valheim, and Star Citizen. They're the 5 games we tend to play. They're all games we can play together on our own server or as a group in a public setting. So yeah, it works for us. We do play the occasional sort of single player game, but that's not as fun as playing together and watching everybody die. Anyway, while I'm out of here, I'm going to close it up, and we'll talk to you next week. Stay cool. Next week we might be streaming via mobile, so it'll just be me and wherever. Don't plan on next week. Just don't plan for a stream next week, because next week is Jerry's birthday. Well, Jerry's birthday's Friday night, and we just don't know whether we'll actually make it home. So just heads up on that one there. Sorry about that, but we might miss a week. You're 60 or 40, you're 45 only one time in your life, and we want to make it a good one for him. Anyway, we're out of here. Closing screen. Bye for now. See you later. Yes, oh my God. I'm sort of half looking forward to next week. I think my stomach...
I was going to say, all you guys look like you've been losing weight.
Oh yeah.
For a while.
No, no,
He is,
healthy
yeah.
lifestyle. Yeah, 9 kilos, mate. Lost 9 kilos.
Oh.
Whether it's the fact that
The weather?
weather, walking,